family. Let's go after this. This looks good. This looks exciting. This looks this has potential, and get behind it 100%. Just be careful about that 100%, because if you get into the hustle grind mode, like I tend to do, that's where I really hit bumps in the road. I hit walls when I do that. Or I like to say the universe likes to hit me upside the head with a baseball bat when I get going on that path.
Hi, it's Tiffany and Lorraine Galloway. I'm the host of the Resilient Mother podcast, and I started it because of my own journey to resilience. I've done everything I can to gather resources, true stories, and inspiration, and now I'm bringing that to you. And I have a new co-host with me.
So I'm Catherine Tyson Soil, and mothers, we are creating the future. So Tiffany, you and I were on this train together, and I'm very excited about bringing amazing women's stories, mothers, help and resources and excitement, and just learning from you and learning from me and learning from all of us, just how to be resilient, how to take care of ourselves, how to take care of our children's, because as we say on the Resilient Mother podcast,
happy mothers, happy children, happy homes is the goal. And that.
All right. Well, welcome to the Resilient Mother podcast. Catherine Tyson Soil. I am your host this evening. And as we promised, Tiffany Lorraine Galloway and we promised to bring amazing women every single week. And now we have them twice a week. So we've just ramped it up, and we're just so excited about that. Tiffany has been driving this car or this train for quite some time, doing amazing, and she's let me on. So I'm on the train with her, and we're just here. We come to you twice a week, so you can always go back and look at the past episodes. But we come Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we're very excited about all the stories that we bring and the beautiful, resilient mothers that are a part of our community. Today, just like any other week, we do have an amazing resilient mother in Sophie Zollmann. And I'm so happy to welcome you to the Resilient Mother podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, Sophie.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here, because motherhood and business and work and careers, they breed resiliency if you let them, because everything is unpredictable at any given time. You never know. You hope for the best, but bumps in the road and things happen to where you have to come back and work on being strong and confident and taking care of yourself and your kids.
Absolutely. And, one of the things that motivates me to bring stories to women out there and to create this village or this community is that sometimes, when I can think of myself 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when I was deep in the fire of raising my children by myself and literally feeling all alone, it would have been nice to have heard some more stories of resiliency, to hear some more stories from women just like myself that could say, girl, it's going to be okay. Like, don't worry, like fret not. It may feel a little crazy right now, but you're going to be okay. You're right on track. Keep loving those babies. Keep doing what you got to do. Keep showing up every day. Keep taking care of yourself and your family, and it's going to be worth it. Because you know what? It really, really was worth it. I have 3 adult children. I'm on the other side of that. And so just very excited to continue to do that for younger women and for all of us, really, to just know that, listen, we're going to be okay. Now, Sophie, you have a story. I want you to tell us your story about motherhood and some of the things that you had to do to make some changes in your world to make it work for you.
Absolutely. I mean, my children, I'm also an empty nester. My children are grown and gone, but they're not gone. They never are. And, you don't stop being a mother when they turn 18 or 23 or whatever and go out on their own. And, but it's, my journey started 31 years ago with my son. And then, my daughter was born several years later. And, for us, I wasn't a single mom, but I was trying to be a stay-at-home mom, and we just couldn't afford it. It just, was not working on one income. But I
Right.
also knew if I went back to work in a job, all my money would go to daycare. It wouldn't pay any bills.
Right.
So it was
Right.
pointless to do that. So I did the crazy thing 25-ish, no, about 23 years ago, and got online and started looking at all the freelance websites because I was like,
Nice.
I got all these skills from my work history. I did have jobs and career and whatnot before then. What can I do from home? And I
Right.
pursued the work at home mom thing for many years. I got myself a remote job before those were a thing, long before the pandemic, as a virtual customer service rep for an e-commerce company. I was living in Virginia. He was in New York, and, it was an online business. So I didn't need to be in office. And I did that for a little over 4 years. And the role grew into basically running the company. And I was running a $500,000 a year company for $12 an hour.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
that'll inspire you.
oh yeah. Yeah, I was totally burned out, totally fried. He would not give me a raise to the point I needed. And I was so stressed out. And, the holiday season is always the worst time for retail. I was so stressed out before I finally quit. A month or so later, I tried to back through my garage door, taking my son to the school bus. That's how bad it was. And I was like, okay, this is not worth it. So, that's kind of episode number 1 of many episodes of what I've been through as a mother and a worker in that. Got done with that, retired back to stay-at-home momhood. But of course, when you own a house, things go wrong.
Yeah.
So 8 months later, things started going wrong. I had to go back to work. It's like, I know I'm not doing that. So I went into transcription, still in the freelance space, doing transcription. Had a good year, fast typist. I thought I can do this. Found a company that would hire me as a newbie and train me. And lo and behold, that opportunity is what spurred me into the thing that led me to where I am today. I was transcribing the teleseminars, way back before Zoom and StreamYard were a thing,
Yeah.
of the online business people I now work for, the coaches, consultants, the health and wellness people, all the service providers that I now work for. I was listening to their teleseminars and transcribing going, I want to work for these people. I want to be their right-hand person.
Oh, wow.
I gave up the transcription and relaunched myself, starting out as a virtual assistant, knowing my worth, knowing the going rates for a virtual assistant.
Yeah.
And I jumped on Twitter and Facebook, and Twitter and Facebook became my thing. I lived on it. My husband was so mad for so long. And then I started making money. He went, oh, you got clients?
Right.
You're making money?
Right.
Okay, you stay on Twitter and Facebook. You go, girl.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And so 6 months later, I have other virtual assistants are hiring me to subcontract for them. And I'm like, okay, time to have a business, because this is no longer freelancing. This is something totally different. So my business was born in October of 2009. And it was a virtual assistant service. I quickly brought on other people and built a team to do things that I didn't know how to do or didn't want to do. And it has ebbed and grown, evolved and changed, rebranded, twice. But I took it to, I took it up to 6 figures by going exclusive with a client in 2018.
Oh, wow.
Got
One client?
one client paying me 6 figures, let go of all my other clients, let go of all other opportunities. Because I was like, yeah, this is great. One client, one job, one thing. And oh, wait, job. The word job was not the same thing as being a business owner, working with multiple clients, having a team. Well, by the end of that year, I decided it wasn't enough. And I soft launched a digital marketing agency as another revenue stream. Well, and it's a good thing I did, because about 2 weeks later, they fired me. And I had nothing.
That one client.
That one client said, we don't need you anymore. Bye. So there it is, crash and burn, my business and everything laid at my feet. But I had this digital marketing agency, and I had a coach and a mentor that I was working with.
Thank you for that.
Amen for that. And I had a husband who stepped up and said, you can quit and do nothing if you want, or look at your numbers after you're done, freaking out and crying and all these things that you're doing in this moment, and see how much money you need for us to fund your business to start over.
Wow.
And that's what I did. I started over. We funded it. My coach and mentor helped me build it and redo it. And I grew it right back up to 6 figures as a business within 15 months, and then continued on into multiple 6 figures for years to come after that, and still evolving and changing. I rebranded in 2021. I was trying to do operations and marketing, and because I'm also an operational person. But then just last year in July, I realized that marketing really is my passion. Marketing is my thing, and it's my team's thing. The team that I have with me right now, they're all marketing experts. They're not the operational people. And I have a new coach and mentor who basically said, operations, nobody wants operations, honey. You need to do marketing. So I pivoted again last year. And by the end of last year, I really got clear on who we are and what we do. And when I did that, it was time for another name and rebrand. So just in the last few weeks, I am now FMD Strategic Partners, simple marketing, exceptional results. And we are a fractional marketing department.
Nice.
We're not just the CMO. We're not an agency. We are your actual full fractional marketing department now. And we work with strategy first. That informs the monthly plan, that informs the metrics and KPIs we're going to track, so we can figure out what we can do that works, and then maximize it. And, even along that path from losing it all and starting over, I still have had bumps in the road, because that's life. That's business.
Right.
And, and some of those bumps in the road were life, which does affect business, because everybody tries to think life is here, business is here. No, it's not.
No.
It is not. They are intertwined. No matter how much you want to think they're separate, they are not. So, been through the ups and downs of a really bad COVID bout that knocked me down for 24 hours. My grown children going through personal situations, the business going through, downturns and things. And every time I have gotten back up, looked at it and go, what can I learn from this? How can I be better, stronger, different moving forward? And, it has been a journey for 20 plus years, and it's still a journey. And, it's kind of sort of starting over in this year with the new name and the new concept. Well, the refined concept, it's still, but I'm like, each time I get up and get renewed and revived, and it's like, okay, that didn't work. What can I do differently? Let's go after this. This looks good. This looks exciting. This looks this has potential, and get behind it 100%. Just be careful about that 100%, because if you get into the hustle grind mode, like I tend to do, that's where I really hit bumps in the road. I hit walls when I do that. Or I like to say the universe likes to hit me upside the head with a baseball bat when I get going on that path. Yeah. So I'm the recovering hustle grinder.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think we get to a certain stage or age in our lives when we need to start winding down and coasting a little bit and smelling the coffee. I don't think it's healthy to be just go. Our kind of focus changes, right? When you had daycare bills, it's very different than having a 31-year-old, who
definitely different,
looking for advice and different things, and they're struggling in their lives, and they kind of need you to be there also for them. So focus changes, things change for us, and I mean, I'm so impressed with your story, because I do believe that some people just have it in them. They really do. They have that business acumen. And that's what it sounds like with you. Like, it doesn't matter when you're knocked down, what you're figuring out while you're down is, all right, so what did I do? And how can I do that better? And how can I do that differently? So as you're getting up, you're ready to just keep it rolling. And I think that that's awesome. And there are some people who, maybe a job is serving them, right? The job is a great job. I'm a social worker by profession. So when I started my career, I was about 28, 29. I had started my single parent journey at 26. And so when I started my career as a social worker, that worked for me and my kids because I had health insurance. I was a single mother, so I didn't have, that second income. So I had health insurance 100%. I was able to go pick them up at 3:00, only one was in preschool at the time. So it wasn't any daycare fees. That was over. They were 4, 8, and 9. So, and that job worked for me. And I worked that job for about 15 years before I went on my own. So, things work for different people, right? But it's what works for you. And I'm really impressed with just how much you were able to pivot and change and adjust, right, to the needs of whatever was presenting itself to you. So it wasn't like, this is what I want to do, but it was more like, this is what's going to work. And I love that. And at the same time, you're being a wife, you're being a mother,
Oh yeah.
So
and now I'm being a grandmother. So, now I'm a grandmother. I've got that.
Wow.
And when you have a 3-year-old, it's like, ooh, I got to really be careful with my energy there because that's go, 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 go. And it's like,
Yeah.
I gotta rest. Oh, he's taking a nap. Maybe grandma will take a nap too.
Right. Because when he's up, he's up.
Yeah. And it's just, I've done many things that I didn't really want to do, but in some cases, you don't really know you don't want to do them or you don't enjoy them until you try. I mean, and sometimes what you're good at isn't what you like doing.
Yeah.
And I've learned those lessons along the way too. I mean, that's why, I went into digital marketing and then I'm like, well, digital marketing can also be operations and I can also do this and I can do this. And it's like, wait, well,
right. Yeah.
There you go. Trying to do the whole jack of all trades thing, master of none.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
Okay. And as long as you live and learn and adjust and adapt and keep going, and be resilient.
Yeah.
You can get to that point where you're like me. I'm doing absolutely what I love right now. I love what we're doing. I love what we're relaunching into. And I am so ready for an amazing 2025 and beyond because of it.
Right.
But, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And that's okay. As long as you keep going, persistence, resilience, learning your lesson, learning from because failure is not the end unless you let it be the end.
Right.
I completely failed after 10 years of being in 9 years of being in business. I truly failed and lost it all and started over.
Yeah.
Could I have crawled in a hole and gone, I'm done? I could have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't want to.
And I don't know if I'd say that you failed. I think you were quite successful. So successful that one person was able to say, hey, I want you to do this solely for me. And then that person kind of fell off. So it doesn't feel like you failed. It feels like you trusted someone who made a decision about what they needed for their business and where you thought that would end up going. And they kind of, something changed for them. And then you were left kind of holding the bag, like, hang on a second.
Yes. But my decision. It was also my decision to put all my eggs in one basket.
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely. And that's where the learnings come. Exactly. Yeah. Because I believe even in times like that, when you end up on your butt, you're able to say, wow, okay, so I won't do that again, because this can happen. Because sometimes you don't know that these things can happen. So something happened to me along the way after I'd successfully raised my kids. They're all finished university. One has a master's degree. It was amazing, like amazing. 2 boys and a girl. They were all like amazing. And then I forgot that I had to take care of me. And so I started making all kinds of really sketchy or questionable decisions that landed me in hot water. And I had to look and say, hang on a second, you would have never made that decision if your children were a part of this. So why are you making that decision as if you didn't need to take care of you? So literally took, I don't know, 20, almost like 20 something years for me to stop and say, Catherine needs to take care of Catherine too, not just Catherine's 3 children.
Right.
Because when they were no longer, the focal point for me, I kind of lost sight of me. And so, and I came out of that stronger. Like the woman that came out of that, the woman that was there, I thought she was so strong. I thought she was amazing. I thought, she's nothing. Trust me, this girl.
Yeah, the woman comes out is way stronger, much better.
This girl's not going to do that again. So I think that those are things that just really sharpen us. It sharpens those irons. And I love that. And so now you've emerged, and you've also now you're able to, what you just said, do what you love and be happy doing it.
Absolutely.
So that's incredible. That's incredible. Yes. So what are your 2 children doing now? Since this is the Resilient Mother podcast, what are they doing?
Well, my son is in IT. He kind of followed in his father's footsteps. He's an IT engineer for a local well, they're a global company, but they have an office here. And my daughter she's 25. She has finally found what is potentially her career path.
Nice.
Took her a lot of trial and error, lots of falling on her face in all kinds of ways. And now she is she's a leasing agent at an apartment complex nearby. It's a corporate owned one that's nationwide. So lots of opportunity to go to different places, transfer to different properties, room for, improvement, promotions, even potentially management down the way. So
very nice.
She has stepped into a nice little career, and she has stepped into the world of, she has found a good man that she is partnered with right now, potentially a wedding in our future.
I felt this somehow.
Like potentially a wedding in our future, which is good. It's great. Yeah, she's found the one. It's like, and then we got to pay for it.
Yeah, you bet.
Now we got to pay for it, but hey, it's all good. It'll be great. And and then my son, my son is the one with the grandson.
Okay.
His son is 3, and he's just bouncing off the walls. Active, great little boy. A lot of fun, but a lot of trials and tribulations with him. He had health issues when he was first born, and, new parents with a baby that's not 100% healthy, again, you're there for your kids and the grandbaby. I mean, 100%. And, they'd be like, he'd call me and be like, Mom, I know it's late, but we just can't get him to settle down and go to sleep. Could you come over? And I'm like, wow. Of course. And I would go over and I would pick him up and I'd do the whole thing I used to do as a mom and the baby. And he would just be quiet. He would go to sleep.
Yeah.
And they would look at me cross-eyed like, what did you do?
What is your magic? What kind of magic is this?
and I looked at him, I said, I'm not stressed out over it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not exhausted like you guys are.
I'm not exhausted. I'm not stressed out. I'm not freaked out because the baby won't stop crying. Been there, done that, know how to handle it. Grandma's just like, let's just be calm and go to sleep.
Awesome.
And, all through all of it, he had tubes in his ears as like a 1-year-old. I mean, just all the little things, just being there for my kids. And that's the biggest part of doing what I do is I've been there for my family, my husband, my children, even in my grown children, because, and there was a time in 2023 where both my grown children went through personal crises within days of each other. And then our family pet of many years had a stroke and passed away.
Oh,
so in a matter of 1 week, 3 personal traumatic situations. And again, it was a wake-up call for me going, I thought I was being there for my kids, but like you went on that wild tangent after your kids were grown, I kind of did the same thing. I dove into my business. I dove into my freedom with Mike and my husband and I doing our thing. And I was back to go. And it wasn't all work, but a lot of it was work, but a lot of it was like kids are gone. I can go have fun now.
I'm free.
And, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden it's like one couple days, the other. And then the dog, I was just like, okay, here's another one of those universal baseball bats going,
Yeah.
you still haven't learned your lesson about slow.
Yeah.
Tuned in to your family first. Cause it's like, you always, my family comes first. This business helps me support my family, helps me be with my family. And I'm like, I really was kind of talking out of the side of my mouth and not really prioritizing my children and their families and whatnot, because, both of those situations blindsided me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, here we go again. Time to back off, look at it, slow down, streamline whatever I need to do, both in my business and my life, and make that conscious effort to text them regularly, call them, invite them over for dinner,
right?
Get back to the family dynamic that we had, where I just kind of went off the rails for just like, oh, I'm free, I can go do whatever. And, so it's you're there for your kids, but like you, I went off the rails. I mean, it didn't affect my health, thankfully, because after all the trials and tribulations I'd been through over the years, I was able to really catch myself before I let myself go down the tubes from all of that trauma and stress in that time period. I was like, okay, time to step back. And it's like, I talk to my team and I'm like, team, got some stuff going on here. I need you guys to step up and support me. And they're like, we got you. And they did. And I got to be able to work with it, deal with it, help. And I got to reconfigure what I'm doing in my business, my life, and everything to where I'm not consumed by it all anymore.
Kind of recalibrate a little bit. And I think also, I was having this discussion with my daughter the other day. She's 30, my first baby, I'll call her. And she was saying, like, she's that age where she can do everything amazing, but she's one person. So I said, I know you can do it amazingly, but someone else could do some of those things good enough. So sometimes you got to let go of some things. You got to delegate, let the people that can do the thing good enough do it, and be okay with that, because you cannot do everything. And I remember being 30 and, thinking I got to do all this stuff. And it's like, no, if you have a team, or utilize the people around you, because you're going to burn yourself out. You're not going to be enough for yourself, because you're frazzled. You're not able to even focus on the things that you need to focus on, because you're holding all of these things around you because you just want them done a certain way. And I said, just let go. You have got to learn to just pace yourself and let other people also do their part. So I think as women, sometimes we pressure ourselves so much, and then you end up kicking your own butt, because you're kicking your butt because you weren't there for your family, weren't there for your kids. And like, we just love to kick our own butt. So sometimes we just need to find that balance and just be okay with that,
Yeah.
I think that's what you're talking about.
Absolutely. Definitely. And sometimes you're finding people that actually do it better than you too.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of we women
we don't know their stories,
way or the highway, and it's like, no.
Sometimes we don't know their stories too, though. Sometimes we'd be surprised at the corners of their lives.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, people, when you're good at everything, you're great at you're not really as good as you think you are at it.
Yeah.
There are people better than you at it.
Yeah.
Because that is their genius. That is their focus. That is the only thing they do. Right. Where you're the jack of all trades, doing the marketing, doing the finances, doing this, doing that.
You're right.
You think you're great at all of them.
Yeah. You're right.
But when you get professionals in there, that's the only thing they do, and that's what they've been doing. You're like, oh, maybe I'm not so good at it.
Yeah.
I should have delegated that a long time ago.
Yeah, right? Another lesson learned. Well, you know what? It has been awesome talking to you, Sophie. Please tell us quickly what it is that you currently do right now for people in a nutshell, and then how they can find you if people want to connect with you or to learn more about you.
Absolutely. So I am the founder of FMD Strategic Partners. We are a fractional marketing department that provides the strategy, the monthly marketing plans, and the execution of them all in one place as an outsourced department. So you can save the cost and time and energy of hiring in-house. And we work from the strategy first perspective to get real results that we can repeat and scale. And you can find us at fmdstrategicpartners.com. You can also find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X as my name, Sophie Zollmann, or variations thereof. I also go by Sophie Zo on a few platforms, and you can find me there on social media. And then I do also have a podcast on the Word of Mom radio network called Building Your Empire with Sophie Zo.
All right. I love that. I mean, just every mother that I meet on this podcast, I'm like, she can be my friend. Come on, like, let's hang out.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Amazing. It really, really is just amazing to just learn of all of the brilliance that you bring into your world, into your life, and brilliance and resilience. That was on purpose to rhyme. Because it really is. And I'm happy for you. I'm so happy for your family that you really found this niche and you were able to make that work for you. I mean, 20 something years in the making. That's amazing. I love that.
Thank you.
It's incredible. And thank you so much for coming and sharing your story with us at the Resilient Mother podcast. And we're just asking that when your episode comes out, that you share it with your network, you share it with your people, and just continue to build this village and build this community of resilient mothers that are doing great things in their world, and just doing amazing stuff for their families, but also for communities, just so we know that we're out here and we're doing it. Because some of us, like I said, when I was a young mother, I needed that. I wanted to hear stories like this. I wanted to know, I can do that? Really? Oh, because I thought I was off base, or I don't have to feel bad about that, or you know what I mean? So I think that's what's important, is that we just start to just pop up everywhere so that people learn about resiliency and also know that they're being resilient in their world as well. So thank you so much for joining us on the Resilient Mother podcast. And just keep kicking butt, but not your butt.
Exactly. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. I hope that your audience gets some really good stuff out of this, and keep going. It's not over till it's over, and you decide when it's over.
Absolutely. It was a thrill. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today. Please don't forget to subscribe so we can share this message. We are a worldwide podcast with guests all around the world, and we want to continue to grow this community. You can find us on socials. You could also be a guest. Look for that link below if you'd be interested in being a guest on the podcast. If you know a sponsor or would like to be a sponsor, please reach out to me or Catherine as well.
Sure. We want you all on this journey. We want to hear your stories. We want to share your stories. We want to gain strength from each other, because together we're stronger. And to never forget the blessing of being a mother and what we're creating. We're creating the future every single day of our lives. So get on this train with us and let's do this thing, moms.
I believe in you. Believe in yourself. God bless. And we'll see you around. Take care.